Hello YouTube fans, this is Dr. Matthew Johnson reporting from WAHA, W-A-H-A, the Washington Habituation Area in the Greenbelt behind Cynthia Kreitzberg's home in Puyallup or South Hill, Washington. Anyway, we've had lots of Bigfoot activity out here over the years, tracks, audio recordings of voices, language, night sits with interactions, cloaked and uncloaked. It's been pretty awesome. And there's Zeus right there. Zeus, the official mascot of Team Squatchin, USA.com. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with you really quick because I keep getting asked by a lot of other people about all the voices that are out there. And no, we're not talking about I'm hearing voices. No, we're not talking about psychosis or schizophrenia. We're talking about lots of voices out there in Bigfootdom. Now, what are you talking about, Dr. J? Well, what I'm talking about is, well, first of all, we have a plethora of armchair enthusiasts who are online voicing their opinion about the Bigfoot phenomenon. You know, they're descendants of Gigantopithecus, they're relic hominids, they're dropped off by UFOs, they're military experiments, they're blah 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 blah. Voices. So you have your armchair enthusiast, and then you have, you know, for the newbies out there that are still learning this whole field, you have your old schoolers, which I was for 10 years, which believe in the predominant theory that, you know, the Bigfoot species are the descendants of Gigantopithecus, and they migrated over the Bering Sea land bridge with all the other animals and all the other people thousands of years ago, or with the relic hominids over the Bering Sea land bridge thousands of years ago. And anyway, a lot of predominant researchers believe that that's who they are. And so Gigantopithecus is Latin for giant mountain ape. But let's be honest, the way they really interpret and deal with their view of the Bigfoot species is dumb giant mountain ape. That's why they hang up a bazillion trail cams on trees in the forest hoping to capture one, never willing to admit after the bazillion trail cams that have been hung on the trees all over North America for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years haven't really caught diddly squat, and they pretty much function as squatch repellent. And you know, I did that again, to be fair, for the first 10 years as well. So I mean, that's pretty much what everybody gets crammed down their throat when they, Zeus, get back here. Come on. Sorry, gotta keep my eye on the dog. Zeus, stay around Daddy. Come on. Michael Merchant does it with his dogs. I guess I can do it with my dog too. Stay here, boy. So anyway, that's what the old schoolers believe. And then you've got your habituators and your interactionists, which is the camp I'm in now, starting almost 7 years ago, and I flipped over. And the woo-woo crowd, the paranormal people, we buy into the perspective of they're not dumb giant mountain apes. They're actually an intelligent, sentient being. And you know, the North American Indians have viewed them as a people and with their own tribe and family groups and clans for a long time. And so, you know, who do we listen to, Dr. J? Who knows what's going on out here? Well, there's a lot of good people out there with a lot of good ideas. But I'm just going to be straightforward and say that the old schoolers aren't the ones you need to be listening to. They don't get it. Again, I was there for 10 years, and right along with them, I used to mock all the woo-woo people and the habituators and the interactionists, saying what a bunch of clowns they were and how they needed to crawl back into the holes they came out of and quit discrediting us real researchers. And But it's the old schoolers that don't get it. The Bigfoot species are not descendants of Gigantopithecus. They're not relic hominids. And truly, the old schoolers are the ones who are chasing the unicorns in the forest because they're chasing an animal that does not exist. In other words, the Bigfoot's not an animal. It's, again, not a descendant of Gigantopithecus. It's not a relic hominid. It does not exist. So if you're running around the woods, whacking on trees, whack, whack, and doing bobo yells, whoa, trying to find a dumb giant mountain ape, you're looking for unicorns. It does not exist. So don't listen to those voices. Listen to people who claim to have a better understanding of the paranormal phenomenon associated with the Bigfoot forest people. Listen to the people who've been out habituating and interacting for several years. Those are the people you listen to. Well, who are they, Dr. J? Well, Michael Merchant's on the right track. Arla Collette Williams most certainly is on the right track. She's been at it since she was a kid. Keith Bearden, a lot of other people out there who are on the right track. And there are some who are slowly but surely starting to get it, like Ryan, Reading, nice guy. He's starting to understand the paranormal phenomenon. You got other nice people out there, but nice doesn't mean they know what's going on. Zeus, come on, boy. Stay back here. Thank you. Good boy. Still the official mascot of Team Squatching USA. Good boy. Then you got, I'm going to try not to name names here, but maybe I should. And it's not meant to be a negative put down or anything, but you got people that are handsome and really good in front of a camera and have all kinds of media experience, and because they have, you know, these natural, nice looking features about themselves and get in front of a camera, they can draw crowds, and the crowds start following them because they like nice looking people in front of cameras. That's what Hollywood's all about. And so they start following this person, and without realizing that this person is leading them backwards. This person is promoting Gigantopithecus, relic hominids, and all the old school stuff about Bigfooting, and is leading these people backwards, not forward, but backwards. And because this person doesn't, you know, promote, believe, understand who the Bigfoot forest people really are and the paranormal abilities and quantum physics associated with the Bigfoot forest people. So it doesn't matter how good looking somebody is and how good they are in front of a camera, which isn't me, by the way, not claiming to be good looking or good in front of a camera. But it doesn't matter how good looking somebody else is and good in front of a camera. If what they're teaching isn't correct, then they're pulling the field backwards. They're not moving the field forward, they're pulling them backwards. And that's not good. That's not good for Bigfooting. It's not good for you as somebody who wants to understand the Bigfoot forest people phenomenon. Now, just a public service reminder, I've been at it for 17 years, which I want to let you know means absolutely nothing. It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, that's a long time, right? Especially if you've never been out there doing anything. 17 years is a long time. But I've had other people in the field, others well-known, saying, I've been at it for 25 years. I've been at it for 30. I've been at it for 40 years. That sounds like a long time too, right? Or Peter Byrne for 50 years. But again, the time thing doesn't matter. That's not what matters, because you could be in the field for 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years and doing it wrong. So what? I've been at it for 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. It doesn't matter. If you've been at it for 25, 30, 40, 45, 50 years and you're doing it wrong, then guess what? You've been doing it wrong for that long. So the fact that I've been at it for 17 years doesn't matter, or 25 or 40 or whatever. What matters is, do you know what's going on? No matter how little or how much time it's taken, that's what matters. And so are the people you're listening to the voices in Bigfootdom, not the ones in your head, not the psychoses, schizophrenic voices, but the voices, the leaders in the field. What voices are you listening to? That's what matters. Do they know what's going on or not? That's what matters. And I will tell you regarding myself that I had a significant 2-hour mind speak with Onks in April of 2016. And then a significant historical event took place in the Southern Oregon Interaction area that involved Mike Kincaid, Steve Bachman, myself, and my son Grady, and Zeus, the official mascot of Team Squatching USA. And that's going to be the great reveal. That's what I'll be sharing in my book that's coming out, which is not going to get shipped out till April 20th because we don't want the book hitting people's homes before the conference starts, because that's when the great reveal is going to occur. And no, you don't have to buy my book, and you don't have to go to the conference to hear what it's all about, because I guarantee you, just like the portal in SOA in June of 2014 that hit the fan a year later when I released it in 2015, and everybody in Bigfootdom heard about it, and they didn't have to go to the conference to hear about it, and there was no book for sale, but they still heard about it. So this isn't a push to drive up the numbers for the conference or for you to buy the book. It's in there. It's going to be at the conference, but you'll hear about it. You don't have to buy the book. You don't have to be at the conference. But the point I'm trying to make is what I've been told in April of last year, and in what happened in June of last year, a significant historical event, like making the portal with Adam Davies and John Carlson look like kindergarten significant, is going to blow the lid off of Bigfootdom. It's going to change our understanding of the Bigfoot forest people phenomenon as we know it today. So come April 22nd on Saturday evening, when I deliver the great reveal, boom, the lid is blowing off Bigfootdom. The poop is hitting the proverbial fan. And there's going to be a lot of you out there going, wow, that's so cool. It makes so much sense to me. It ties everything together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's going to be others that are going to have to chew on it for a while before they can swallow it, but they will. And then there's always going to be that remaining last third who are always going to be haters and trolls and critics and skeptics who are going to continue to be mean-spirited and won't believe anything you put in front of their face no matter what. And that's okay, because it's in their DNA. That's who they are. They'll never change, and I'm not talking to them anyway. But to start wrapping this up, who do we listen to? What voices in Bigfootdom do we listen to? You listen to the people who have an understanding that the Bigfoot forest people are an intelligent, sentient being that live in family groups and clans, who have a spoken language, who are actually smarter than we are. You listen to people who have the understanding that their goal is to help us reconnect with our creator, our mutual creator, by the way. Their creator is our creator. With one another, with ourselves, and with our planet. Okay? To be better stewards of what God has given us. Okay? Those are the people you listen to. And if you really want to know if people are truly interacting with the Bigfoot forest people, then you're going to see them changing. Slowly but surely, you're going to see them changing. For example, go back and look at my January of 2016 video, and some videos after that, and notice a slow but sure change in myself over the last 2 years. Anyway, yeah, maybe it was January no, it was January 2016, sorry. Anyway, go watch that video. And a person who's truly interacting with the Bigfoot forest people, you're going to see changes. You're going to see them working on being more kind, more caring, more compassionate, more loving, more concerned about others, more concerned about what's going on around them. And I've been making those changes. And there's Zeus, the official mascot of Team Squatching USA, wanting to hide behind Daddy for some silly reason. So anyway, you'll see them making changes, becoming more loving, because that's what interacting with the Bigfoot forest people do to you, is they change you in a positive direction. If you have people who claim to be hooked up with the Bigfoot forest people, but in the case of one woman I know who claims to be hooked up, and she's here in Washington, but if you disagree with her, she cusses you out, yells and screams at you, and slams the phone on you, then they're probably not really connected. Probably not. I know, by the way, being honest, that I've been rather cocky and pushy and mean-spirited over the years. I know I have. I mean, I've admitted it before, but I'm changing. I'm changing, and most recently, with the recent election cycle, it wasn't Bigfoot related, but I wasn't very kind politically to a lot of people who I disagreed with. And both God and the Bigfoot forest people have been hammering me on that I need to change my ways. So I'm going to work on changing my ways. And during the next political cycle, less than 4 years from now, you won't see me interacting online like I did before, because I'm not going to allow myself to get so caught up in the oomph of politics that, I push love and kindness and respect to the back burner like I did this political cycle. I'm not going to be that guy anymore, because if I'm going to interact with the forest people, and if I'm going to interact with God and Christ, then I can't be that person anymore. So if you're following somebody who claims to be interacting with the Bigfoot forest people, you're going to see those changes in him or her. So be mindful of those things when you're selecting who you're going to listen to and not listen to. So anyway, there's lots of people out there, lots of choices. Just kind of use what I talked about as a criteria. Old school, don't listen to them. They're chasing unicorns. People who claim to be habituators or interactionists, and they make posts and they tag 100, 200 people and then get pissed at you if you untag yourself from their post because you want to read what you want to read when you want to read it, and you don't want to be included in a bunch of tag posts, and they get all cocky and pushy and demanding that they know the truth, and you don't want to listen to their truth, unfriend them. And they're mean and they're angry and they're hateful and spiteful. That's probably someone you don't want to be listening to as well. So you got to kind of judge who you follow by the fruit that they bear. Galatians 5:22, look that up in the New Testament, the fruit of the Spirit. What's their spirit like? Is it love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control? Or are they mean-spirited and hammering people? And again, I have been that person in the past, but I'm working on not being that person, and I'm aware that I've been that way, and I don't like it, and I'm working on changing. But there are other people out there who are also that way, who are clueless to how they're behaving and have no plan on changing. That's a major difference. So if you've heard from others in the past that I've been arrogant and cocky and mean-spirited and everything else, that's accurate information. I have been, but I've been changing the last 2 years, and I'm no longer that person, because my interaction with the forest people, especially since this past year, is really changing me big time. And others I know who are also close to them are changing in similar ways too. And if you want to interact with them, in closing, you have to be a kind person with a good heart and an open mind. If you are a kind person with a good heart and an open mind, and you reach out to them, they will reach back to you. If you don't have a good heart, if you don't have an open mind, if you're mean-spirited, if you're an a-hole, they won't have anything to do with you. So I hope this helps with you being able to sift through all the voices in Bigfootdom in order to make a decision as to who you want to follow. Being popular, being good looking, being good behind or in front of a camera is not the criteria that you need to use. That's not the litmus test. Okay? There are other variables you need to take into account that I've talked about when you make your selection. Now, with all that said, and in closing, I hope you do get my book, because there's a whole lot to learn in that book from my 17 years. Hope you do come to the conference, because I think you'd want to hear about the revelation firsthand. But again, you don't have to get the book. You don't have to be at the conference to hear about it, because trust me, you're going to be hearing about it. This is Dr. J, signing off.